Hello, Fran here, and today we have more Odric adventures. Sorry. Our opponents are also, again, sorry, Italy Primal Storm. Welcome back to the channel. Way Quintorius Field Historian and Michiko Conda Truth Seeker. By the way, the Italy player is not the same player as before, it's just another player using Italy. But anyway, I'm really not sure what that card was at the beginning that gave Quintorius that token. MTG didn't really want to show me, but yeah, that happened. And here, so Coercive Portal. Will of the Council. At the beginning of your upkeep, starting with you, each player votes for Carnage or Homage, and whichever gets more votes will either decide if the owner draws a card or if all non-land permanents get blown up. So this is quite an interesting political card in Commander. To be honest, I rarely see it, but when I do, especially so early on, I'm just like, let's vote Carnage. Unfortunately, even though I was trying to convince them, they didn't really seem to want to, as in the other two players. So the Italy player clearly wasn't a fan of me politicking against him and uses his Abrade on my Seeker of the Heavens. Sad face. But to be honest, I'd rather he use a braid on that than on a, say, Sarah Ascendant, which we just so happen to have in hand. So, sorry Italy, but maybe you were a bit hasty there with that braid, babes. Anyway, we are still taking some hits here and there from these little pesky tokens, and much to my dismay, the other mono white player is playing permanents, which makes me think that they aren't going to vote Carnage. But yeah, what can I say? I mean, the worst part is that I was being very active in the chat and I took a turn off not casting anything, which would always feel bad in Commander. But I was not really getting responses from my opponents, so I didn't want to just hang around and wait for ages. And now, seeing as I played the Sarah Ascendant, the Boros player is like sacrificing various things, like they're preparing to vote for Carnage. Unfortunately, with it being 4-player, the vote would require all of us, other than the owner, to vote against. And as we've just seen, Michiko is playing more permanents. So yeah, I did drop my Sarah Ascendant actually as bait. I was kind of hoping that it would encourage like everyone to vote for Carnage. And you see here, look at this. So Michiko just lost her Settle the Wreckage, which is an amazing card. We've got a freaking Eldrazi coming from the Boros player. And the Angel, I guess, must be ours? Question mark? But anyway, Italy swung at us and I decided to block with the Sarah Ascendant because I knew that it was on borrowed time. And I would rather block Italy now, get that commander tax up a little bit more. And, you know, this card doubles as a recursion spell afterwards and it will get Sarah Ascendant and Seeker of the Heavens back for us. Love it. I couldn't help myself. When I was thinking of elephants, Darien Lake ended up coming to my mind, and I'm sure that there'll be plenty of you who may not even know who that is if you don't watch Drag Race, but you know, I love random references. There are more obscure references yet to come in this episode, so I'd love to hear if any of you viewers out there recognize any of the references, because I am reaching from all over the place. But yeah, so we still have the coercive portal in play. Maybe I'm obsessing over it kind of hard, but the thing that I don't like about it as well is that it is essentially a board wipe on a stick, and the more stuff that I play before it's gone, the more stuff I can potentially lose out of my control. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Now they're playing Sensei's Divining Top. Atali's back again. I just feel like I don't know. I really wanted the other players to just get rid of it as soon as possible, but it's not happened that way. So we're in a bit of predicament here again. Not really the best hand at the moment. I mean, Mangara's great, but we don't want to play Mangara into a coercive portal. So for a second turn this game, I haven't played anything. However, in the chat, I believe the other players said that they are finally going to just vote Carnage. So in this instance, I was like, okay, I guess I can take a turn off and hope that they stick to their words. And they are swinging out a lot. We didn't see the mono white player here, Michiko, actually play anything else on their turn, so it's looking good. It's looking promising. Yeah, this card is a card. Yeah, that's how passionate I felt about it at the time, and even watching and talking over this. It's just one of those weird things where it's like, oh, just having like a gun pointed at your head or something, you just have to get rid of it. It's like when people have Nevin Larrell's disc or whatever it's called. You know, it's just like you play more stuff out and then everything can just get blown up out of your control. Anyway, Atali getting more triggers here and just taking all the good stuff, a Smothering Tithe and a Mind Stone and a creature. But it appears Michiko has something to say about it, and she's blowing up practically everything that he just took. So yeah, I'm happy about that. It looks kind of like the field is much more level right now, and it's a great time to get Mangara out. So with Search of Glory, have plenty of options here, but in the end decided to go with God Eternal Aketra. I've never really, or not often, got the opportunity to get her in play in this deck. She just hasn't come up often. So when I was looking at all my options, you know, Blackblade Reforged can be a great sort of finisher. There's plenty of other good options as well, but in the end I just thought I'm going to give her a go and see how she does. I think she's pretty good, honestly. So yeah. Okay, first of all, huge Rebecca Guay fan, the artist there, and Crackdown is something that I did use in the past, I believe even in Odric and various other mono white decks that I've had and probably disbanded. But it's a spicy card for mono white, and right now Atali's already tapped, so he's really not in a good spot, unfortunately. So, in such a bad spot that he actually does scoop here. I think he said he had to go, I can't remember if he gave a reason, but if it wasn't, you know, for the fact that his Atali wasn't untapping anytime soon, and Enchantment Destruction and Mono Red isn't, you know, plentiful, I would pretty much guesstimate that that was a bit of a scoop, a sort of rage scoop. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, like if I was in his position, that's pretty savage. Like Atali was not going to be untapping anymore. Unfortunately as well though, for our Boros player, they only have a red creature right now. So this enchantment is definitely mono white only friend zone, and we just happen to be mono white, so it's kind of funny. Sigil of Empty Thrones, great enchantment.
Me and my pussy are going to have a lot of fun.
I'm not going to say what game this character is from that I just used for Odric. I'll leave that to any of you that could comment in the comments section. But I adore it, and I played it to death back in its time. And I don't even know how it came to my mind, but it did, and it made it into the video and puts a smile on my face, so I hope it does for you as well.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck. Can you help me?
So honestly, I didn't really feel bad. The Boros player was asking me, like, could I get rid of Crackdown with Grasp of Fate, but I was like, lol, no, basically. I kind of felt annoyed with my opponents in this game with the whole coercive portal thing at the beginning. So when I saw this sort of one-sided advantage with Crackdown, I was like, I'm not going to get rid of that. But anyway, Machiko has decided to do a board wipe. A bit strange, honestly. We get to keep Odric here because of the Bastion Protector, and now she's also disenchanting our Grasp of Fate to get her Sigil of the Empty Throne back. So possibly this Machiko deck is an Enchantress deck? Question mark. I mean, we had Smothering Type as well. I don't know. As for Quintorius, I'm not really sure. I guess it's some kind of graveyard deck to get these spirits, but it's a new card from Strixhaven, so I haven't really seen exactly what they're going for in this game yet. But yeah, we got double Aketra now, which is just amazing. Big Aketra fan here. Double strike, indestructible, haste, hexproof. What's not to love? And vigilance, because I think the tokens that Aketra makes have vigilance, or she herself has vigilance. It's hard for me to see when the screen is small like this. But the beautiful part of that is that the black tokens that Aketra makes will stay untapped, so they won't be affected by Crackdown, although their power might be under Crackdown's threshold anyway, so it might not have even been an issue. But yeah, so the Boros player is just sort of swinging at us, and we can block with indestructible creatures. They've got their Mimic Vat in play, and they're getting tokens. So interesting kind of way to reuse creatures and get some advantage out of it. Pretty nice. And now we're seeing another enchantment again from the Machiko. So it definitely does seem to be like some kind of Enchantress build. Although Machiko has not joined the party this whole game. It's interesting how some of these games that I've had, people don't always cast their commander. Obviously with Odric, I will very rarely ever play a full game without casting him. Like, he's integral. But I guess Machiko, she's cool, but they just have other things on their sort of priority list, I guess. Like Sphere of Safety, it's a really good card when you have a bunch of enchantments. And of course, having Sigil of the Empty Throne out means that she'll get an angel every time she casts an enchantment. So that's another blocker, which is also flying, so it's a good play right now. But now it's time for us to get all of our little creatures back with Dawn. This is why I love Dusk and Dawn. It's such a great card, and it just works really nicely in this deck because we have quite a few creatures that will be low enough in power for the spell to bring them back to our hand. So yeah, now we're just like playing out everything. We got all of these zombies. All of our stuff's going to get haste from the Swiftfoot boots. This is very, very delicious. We're going to swing in. We've got lifelink, flying, double strike, indestructible, hexproof, haste, you know, vigilance. Did I say that already? I don't know. We've got tons of stuff. And the goal here really is to just finish off the Boros player, and then we'll need to worry about Sphere of Safety after that and get rid of Machiko.
Now, sashay away.
Oh, she passed away? Oh. All right.
See you in the future, sucker!
So there we have it, guys. Odric coming out for the win this time. Getting a double scoop, setting the new record. Let's see if we can get everybody to scoop in a future game. Yay! Not that I think that we were the sole cause for anybody to be scooping. But yeah, it was a shame. Itali kind of hit eject, and then Machiko just kind of didn't fancy her chances, I guess, at the end. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let me know how many references you got, if any. See you next time.